with the floating local option sales tax, government agreement. That agreement has now been finalized on our end. We have spoken with the city leadership. We also got this information out to the various smaller cities. The percentages have been, we have allowed them, they will be taken from the digest as it is, so that makes it pretty fair. We had two options, which was really the gross tax levy, or we went with the net tax levy. Is that correct, sir? Am I saying that correctly?
We went with, so there was three options: gross,
Right.
net, and then total tax levy. The total tax levy is what Thomas County has done and what
Right. And that's
You
what
and
we
I thought that
want to
was
make sure we
good.
stay. We utilize Thomas County as the example here because they have the floss already in place and it seems to be working. They are also utilizing that. So with that being said, can you announce the percentages as listed on the digest so people understand this is not population based, this is 100% dealing with the taxes that you actually levy. So that being said, can you give the percentages so the board will hear those?
Yes, sir. Brooks County is 80.91%. City of Quitman is 16.05%. City of Morven, 1.86%. Havo, 0.6%. Barwick, 0.59%.
Sir. With that being said, we would like to go ahead and get the IGA approved on our end tonight. The cities have already reached out to their leadership. They should have already gotten at least a consent vote to agree. Once we have it in place, signed, we will take it by. They will agree to sign. Hopefully, if they do, that's fine. If they don't, we still move forward with this legislation as is. That being said, one thing if we could get a motion, get a second, I would like to go a little bit of discussion on it.
Okay, and this is a motion just to have it, put to the, as referendum on the ballot in November for the voters to decide.
That's correct, and we'll just do the IGA as part of that.
Part of that, okay? Do I have a motion to approve the, lost IGA?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second, you have further discussion?
I do, and the reason I want to do this is because there's a lot of misinformation. Social media is what it is. I refuse to go on there and become a part of that, and I won't. Talk about it, won't do. What it's talking about, that's your business. What I can say is, when we talk about this floating local option sales tax, there were two options that we could have chosen. There was the, what we refer to as the L host, which dealt with homestead exemptions only. So if you had a homestead, it would only benefit them. Same concept, goes to the digest, and would go back to homesteaders only. We looked at that option. If you're in a large county, I'm saying this to the public, I'm sure they understand, if you're in a large county, for example, our neighbors, Lowndes County, L host is a good choice for you. They have a SPLOST. They have a special purpose local option sales tax in Lowndes County. They bring in a lot of money because they have 300 plus thousand people there, plus you have an interstate, plus you have all the businesses. So it brings in a very hefty amount of money for SPLOST. That's good for them. And they're allowed or able to utilize that for many other purposes. We live in a smaller county where our SPLOST no longer exists after a certain time because the voters chose to do that. We will do our best to try to go back and maybe educate a little better on that next time. But that being said, it was chosen not to. We do not have it. So this FLOST allows for the taxes of all people, any landowner, anybody that does business, anybody who owns property. This will be a direct impact to you, for your taxes will come down, because it will be, the digest will be rolled back per how much ever money this goes in, dollar for dollar, as it will say, in this case, cent for cent. For every cent that goes into the digest, it is rolled back, meaning that the millage will be rolled back, meaning that your personal taxes will come down from whatever they are at that time. We find this to be much more fair in this particular county than the L host, because this affects all taxpayers. There was some argument that, oh, if you're a renter though, you don't pay taxes, this isn't good for you. Do not be fooled by that statement. Renters rent from landowners.
Amen.
Landowners pay taxes.
Right.
If the landowner's tax goes up, it's a pretty doggone good chance the renter's tax, or excuse me, the renter's rent is going to go up. If the renter's tax stays the same, there's a pretty decent chance it won't go up. And if it goes down, there's probably a really good chance your taxes won't go up. So you need to be educated to understand that just because you rent doesn't mean that lower taxes doesn't affect you one way or the other. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. So when this goes on social media that, oh, renters don't count, that's so untrue. Taxes affect us all. So if we're able to bring those back, I may not be the leader that certain people think I should be, but I want to be clear to all of you. Be educated in what you do. Be smart about decisions you make. Don't just take the word of somebody who's just talking to be talking.
Amen.
Be sure you take the word of people based on the facts and the reality that's there. This is this board's opinion, and I would agree with that 100%, the floss is our better way to go. The people get to choose. Make no mistake about that. People go to the ballot in November, choose whether you want this or not. It does not, to be absolutely clear, none of this money, not one penny comes back to us or cities to go in the general fund. That's not how this works. It goes straight to the digest, pulls off from the digest what would have been there for taxes, roll back, and then from that, if the counties or cities wish to not take a rollback, that's on them. They can choose what they need to do. But at that point, it is not a benefit to any of your governing entities. It's a benefit directly to the taxpayers of the county. And make no mistake, renters are part of that process. So I want to say that, and that's all I have now. I just want a little education on it there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion from commissioners?
And one of the things, you know, and don't believe everything that you hear on social media. Because social media is what killed that splash. People, I've been around for many, this is the first time I can remember in the history of Brewster County that we did not pass a splash. Because what you did, you read and you see on social media. Person get on social media and instead of them telling the truth about the splash and how the splash help us to understand what buying equipment and roads and stuff like that, and what you do, you believe exactly what the individual say.
That's right.
So please be careful with social media. Thank you.
Okay. Any further?
I just have one more thing. If anyone needs to look at how this has worked and it's affected the county and the citizens, as Mr. Buddy said, look at Thomas County. Thomas County hasn't had it implemented in their county. It's utilized very well and it's offset their property taxes tremendously. They're a larger county, they have more of a tax base, however, it's the same purpose and it'll be utilized in the same process.
And I will add to this, for if this goes on the ballot and this passes, it should prompt you to spend locally as well. Because that's where the tax dollars come from, is what is spent here in this county. So, okay, well, I have a motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion on it? All in favor? All right. Anyone opposed? That motion carries.
Number 5, we are looking at the ordinance codification review. Again, this was something discussed in the workshop, and I think Mr. Kemp has had time to look at that. Yes.
It's all right, Brian. We'll let you
All right.
get it done.
This VIP your package.
God bless you.
We will pause for the UPS man.
Please drive safe out there.
Hey, Wayne, this is for you.
All right. All right. Y'all have a nice evening.
Have a blessed
Thank you,
evening,
sir.
sir. Be safe.
I was telling you not to get Amazon at work.
I gotta say, I think, I don't know, I've been doing this almost 8 years, I don't think I've ever had a meeting interrupted by a patient. Good for me. All right, good stuff.
They were on time.
All right. Jason, on the ordinance, I'm sorry, Mr. Kemp, on the ordinance codification review, is there anything else we needed to discuss on that, or we got a pretty good feel for it?
From my perspective, no. What Patricia noted here is something we eventually need to take up, which is we have codified a specific date for our meetings, and if we're gonna continue with Tuesdays, we'll need to change that, but we gotta do that through legislation.
Yeah, and I agree, there's several of those little things like that that do need to be done. The good news is this particular ordinance, when it's done, will be in a digital form. Unlike in the past, you always had a book and you had to put it in papers and things like that. It became very cumbersome. The good news is these things can be done one at a time. We can go in and say, we're gonna make this change and make the legal, go through the process, then we can notify, and it will be changed digitally, and it will be updated in our books as we do it. So, unless there is something specific, I would ask tonight that the board go ahead and move forward so we can get this done.
Okay, all right, what's the pleasure of the board? All right, you make a motion to approve the ordinance clarification?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and a second?
I'll start from there.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you.
Okay,
All right, next item, number 6, this is the Formal Act 066/2026, referencing the Stanley Road closure request, or abandonment. This was taken up in the workshop for you to think about over the week as to whether the board wishes for us to move forward with this closing process, or not. So at this point, I will turn it to you, Madam Chair, as to move forward. Excuse me, as to how you wish to go.
okay. All right, is there any commissioner that, wishes to make a motion to move forward? I'll ask one more time, is there any commissioner that wishes to move forward with the abandonment process? Okay, if not, it will.
Guys on the floor.
All right, so Formal Action 066/2026 will be stricken, and that number will not be used. Formal Action 067/2026, the opioid funding request by the Board of Health, we heard from them last week as well. They are requesting, give me just a second. This is it right here, right? This is the grand total they're asking
Let me
for.
make sure, no.
That's much higher than what you should.
Yeah, it's much higher than what I got, Mr. Maxwell. What did we?
Yeah, let me see yours. So we have two different things going here, so I'll make sure we get the right one. This one, Mr. Maxwell, you had it.
That's what she sent me.
All right, so we have one for 35,400 with 375. This is what Ms. Myra has. Yours is for 46,400 with 375.
You should have sent the same thing. Let's look at it and find out.
That's what they told them.
Oh, that's the same.
Here's the big difference right here.
Social media.
We don't need $12,000.
Oh, I wonder if that was, I wonder if that was a tie. You're exactly right. Yeah, they're saying $1,000 a month.
No, we don't need that.
I think, so would you be okay with
Yes,
utilizing
yes,
this number?
yes.
All right.
So let me pass this one out to the commissioners now.
Yeah.
That's exactly. I think that's the top.
Get on there.
Mr. Lee, you have yours? Ms. Patricia, you have yours? Mr. Maxwell?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, with that being said.
Let's explain to the citizens what we're looking at here, Mr. Lee.
Turn it over to you, Nancy.
Okay, last week we had a presentation, by Ms. Jessica Arnett with, the Department of Public Health, in regards to, they call it a Brooks County Cares Project. And it is in, relation to Narcan and putting distribution vending machines in various locations within our county to utilize. This will be funded from opioid funds, opioid settlement funds that the county has received. And they can only be used in regards in treatment and with opioid uses. We have already used some of that money in the past with treatment programs. And so they presented a proposal to us last week. If anybody would like to see it, I have their copy of their PowerPoint here. But they brought us back a proposal for us to look at, and this would, like I said, would be for 5, Mr. Maxwell, you jump in and help me because you were really a big part of this. 5 distribution boxes. We'll determine where they will go in the county, probably one in the Morgan area, Barney area, maybe one out in Dixie and 2 or 3 here in Quitman. But right now we have got 5 of those, and then you have to have the supplies that go within the boxes. And then one of the things that they added was a Fatal Vision polydrug program kit, which is a kit that they will take into the school system. And it will allow children to see what it is like to be impaired. So it will be used for educational purposes there. And then, some funds for extra supplies and travel to refill these, boxes, and a social media campaign about where they're located. And so that grand total right now is $35,403.75, and that would come strictly out of the opioid funding money that we have already received. Oh, about
Right at
130,
130.
I think it's
So we have
130.
Security
We have
camera.
130 that has not been allocated at the moment. We had a discussion about some other uses as well, so I think this was a very good presentation and a very good use of that money. So at this time, what is the wishes of the board in regards to that?
Now, Chuck, everything in order to make a motion that we approve the opioid funding request for the Board of Health.
For the Brooks County Cares Project presented to us,
Mhm.
okay? I have a motion to approve this. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any further discussion or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Great.
All right, that takes us to our last formal action item, Bill 68/2026, and the data center ordinance discussion. We had this last week as well. One of the things that was asked about was asked from the board was to, give us your ideas individually of what you wanted, maybe in the ordinance, so that when we did go out to put one together, that we had your information so that we could find a decent template that matched those requests, instead of having just a really nilly template that could be torn apart. This will allow each one of you to have some input into what we put out there. Again, social media would have you believe that we're not leading in this area, because we're not getting in the front. I don't know what he said, it's stupid. I will say this.
You call me stupid?
I will say this, that what happened was, what we need is the information from this board, so that we, the administration that works for this board, can put together a solid ordinance template or foundation, along with Mr. Kemp. Together, once we bring that out, the committee can be arranged, and from that template, an ordinance can be made. And that is how you lead. So that's what we're going to do. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pull up each one. I got some from a couple of you, I believe, do you have something tonight, sir?
This is the same thing I told you the other day.
Yes, sir.
I'm concerned about pollution.
Okay.
And it's linked to the, specs of asthma, respiratory infection, and cardiac arrest. That's my concern.
Very good. So with that being said, I have those concerns, I'll take those from you tonight, to give to, Mr. Lanier, Captain Lanier. I've got one here, let's go and hit a couple of things real quick, and if I miss one from anybody, just be sure to speak up. Location was a discussion, by one commissioner stating data centers should only be allowed to be placed in established Brooks County industrial park complex property and boundaries. That is something to think about. Data centers shall only utilize closed loop cooling systems, also
Yes.
known as end-to-end thermal management. That is basically where water is inside, it's not running through the process, in other words, not in and out.
Like a recycle
Right, it's a
process.
recyclable
Build
thing.
our own power plant.
Certain types should be allowed. Brooks County shall only, this is again requesting, Brooks County should only authorize the following types of data centers to be established within the boundaries of the Brooks County. Modular data centers, which are small mobile container types of structures. Enterprise data centers, which are private data center facilities that support a single business or organization and usually host enterprise IT operations. Three being, collocated data centers, I said that right. Co-located, thank you. Co-located data centers, which provides a shared space for businesses to outsource their IT operations, so that is a suggestion. And fourth suggestion, solar for power offset. Solar meaning on the property itself, placement of solar panels to cover parking area, which will offset power consumption, size, scale to be discussed. These were what I received from one commissioner, and then I will also have
We need our own power
So
plant.
one more item there.
yes,
Square footage limitation.
square footage limitation, all right. Would you send that to me?
That's in it.
Oh, it's in there, I missed it,
On
I'm sorry,
top.
okay, my apologies, okay, it's in there, thank you. So I have a couple of, this is 6 more items just to keep in mind. Industrial zoning area only, which we've already discussed a little bit. Closed loop system required. Consideration for lighting and noise, something to think about there, certainly. Minimum and maximum acreage requirements, agree. And setback requirements along with requirements for landscaping. Meaning that you don't wanna just see nothing but that place, so I get that. So all these were the things that I received. Mr. Maxwell, did you have anything?
No.
Nothing, okay. So Mr. Cody, I have yours. Ms. Myra, Mr. Folsom, did you have anything to add?
Mine was included in that.
Oh, okay, very good. So we will take these items, if the board is okay with this, put them in the hands of capable folks here, and allow y'all to find us a good template for working together, and to bring that back. So we will be organized. If you wanna talk about that, ma'am, I will.
Yes, so I, would like to, form a committee. I would ask if each commissioner has someone that they would like to, serve on that committee to, in the next few weeks, give me their name. It's a diverse committee, and I think it's gonna be a committee of 5 members, no more than 5, probably with two commissioners sitting on it. Okay?
So with that being said, that's what I needed. I don't necessarily need a formal action here unless you, well, I do need formal action because I need to move forward with creating that ordinance, because we've not actually done that. Correct?
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. We need
Yeah.
to-
Yeah, I need a formal action
Okay.
to tell us that we can
Can
move forward.
start.
Yes.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board? You wanna move forward with a data center ordinance?
I'm with that motion.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
Very good.
Which
Yeah,
we're still in a moratorium until December the 31st, I think it is. I think it's December 31st. So, we still have plenty of time.
All right. We have no reports from committees and departments tonight. That was taken care of in our workshop. No unfinished business I'm aware of. New business, we do have the contract from the road department. This is for road maintenance and support services. Another item that was on social media incorrect, stating that we only opened 1 bid. I want to make this very clear. We received only 1 bid. I cannot open more bids than we received. So that is the only bid that was opened because it is the only bid we received. So I'd like to clear up that miscommunication.
Amen.
That being said, at this time, we do have the contract, it has been redlined and prepped. I know the conversation is going on between the vendor and Mr. Kemp. I think everybody should be in agreement with what was stated. Mr. Kemp, if you have anything to add to this, turn it over to you, sir.
I do. So the contract is basically the same as it was the first go-around. The changes are either just standard text changes for the term. You should have a red line copy in your packet. A couple of changes requested by the contractor. One is that the parties could mutually agree to an extension of 1-year term governed by the agreement. 2, the compensation has changed, but that's per the bid which you've already approved, in section 3 on page 2. One thing to note is all of these figures are 1 penny higher than they should be, so I can make that change if it's approved. I guess it's literally a rounding error, so it's 1 penny less than what you see for each of those installments.
Already saving money.
Already saving money. So on
And just
page
continue pennies.
3, 9E, the contractor asked to change pay for to make available, because not every employee is going to actually accept everything that's made available, so he just wants it to be made available, which makes sense to me.
Okay.
And then, notably on page 5, section 10, so you all may recall when we first drafted this contract, it was for CWS out of Alabama. They were the only bidder for our road department contract the first go round, and we ended up not moving forward with them because we couldn't make the money right for them. We put in this early termination for convenience section in there, so that if either party was disappointed in how things were going early on in the contract, we could terminate for no cause at all. The contractor has asked that that be changed just for cause. and that we take termination for convenience out, and that's section 10. Legally, termination for convenience in a contract for years is already a bit dicey, so I don't have a legal issue with it. If you all wish to accept that change, that's what's been requested. Outside of that, there have been no further changes.
Okay. All right, at this time, what's the pleasure of the lady?
Before you vote, I do want to say this as well, because this is important, again, for clarification. This process, was announced properly. It met all procurement laws of Georgia. It was ran in the newspaper, several times. It was also ran on social media, Facebook, notices were given. Our county website noticed it out, it was given. The procurement website itself, had the bid on it, and it was given. So to be clear, we have covered everything we are required to cover under the Georgia procurement laws of Georgia. And this was done legally and within within the realm of everything that is required, to take these type bids on these large projects. So the county has done its job, we stand with that. That being said, at this time, I would ask that we need to approve this group.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board?
Madam Chairman, with everything, I'll make a motion that we approve the contract, the road department, road maintenance and support service contract, like for the county, with the necessary changes, you understand, that has been made.
Okay. Contract with JWA?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second, any further discussion? I do wanna point out, in this is a road maintenance agreement, it does not include mowing. The county still has a mowing department, so, okay?
And this would be formal action 069.
69,
Is that, is that correct? Mr.
Yes,
Patricia? Yes,
yes.
we have not assigned a formal action, so yes, 069.
I have a motion, I have a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries.
That takes care of our formal actions for the night, and that moves us to public comments, and this time I'm gonna turn it back to you.
Okay, just check this out of the way. Here. All right, we're down to public comments. Each person will be allowed 2 minutes to speak, and we would like to ask that you direct all your comments to the commissioners. First, we have Miss Patricia Brown. She has a agenda request. Good evening.
I'm back again.
Tell me what exciting things you all have going on.
Well, we just finished up on before we camp, but up here, this afternoon we're requesting a pop-up market. So, my name is Patricia Brown, I'm with All Kids Excel, located on Dixie Bar Road, where we teach life skills to young people in financial literacy. So, and I thank you for the opportunity for letting me come in to speak today. But I came to see, my vision is to be able to provide a monthly community pop-up market at the Brooks County Farmers Market. My goal is not to create a flea market, but my vision is to create a well-organized family community market that support our local farmers, our food vendors, our handcraft vendors, our nonprofits, our small businesses, and giving our community another reason to gather and shop locally. This market should benefit and support our local businesses, encourage entrepreneurship, increase community engagement, bring more visitors to the farmer market, because right now it's not being utilized. It's not being utilized at all. Even, you know, I know we had something in place like opening up on the Saturday, but during this time of year, when I do my vegetables, if I break okra, I'm bringing okra Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it's locked up, you know, I'm not unable to get there. So, but to bring more visitors to the farmers market, to create opportunities for nonprofits, encourage families to spend time together in a positive environment. I would also like to involve our school and our youth organization like FFA. They do plants, they do vegetables, they have agricultural projects. Also, Beta Club can participate in fundraising, or any kind of community service. Youth entrepreneurship could showcase the products that, you know, everybody creates. So this will give the young people valuable experience in business, leadership, financial literacy, customer service, and documentation. But one thing that is important to me is maintaining quality. I would like to organize this vendor category, so businesses have a variety of products and vendors have a better opportunity to succeed. My goal is to balance the market rather than having several vendors just selling the exact same thing. So if given the opportunity, I'm committed to working closely with the county to keep the market clean, organized, safe, and family friendly while following all the county rules and market guidelines. My vision also is to make Brooks County farmers and makers market a place where families can come together, local businesses can grow, young entrepreneurs can learn, and our community comes together. So I thank you for your time and consideration. Anybody else
Let's
with
go make a
questions?
decision on which vendors are here with which products.
Thank you, Mr.
That sounds like a great idea. Can you and Mr. Bodie get together and look at some calendars and dates and a plan?
Right.
And
Yes.
bring back to the commissioners maybe during our work session?
Yes.
Good. Let's get together and you just say, we're playing good, one of you two, sure.
Okay, all right.
Hey, we're-
All right, thank you.
Make it quick, y'all.
Thank you.
Say no more things. I have to
That's right.
country.
Let me tell you something, you know like these.
All right, next up, we have Mr. Chris Godfrey.
Due to some unforeseen circumstances, our representative is not able to be here today, so I'll just give him a calendar for the next one.
Okay, so you wanna both postpone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and that brings us down to Mr. Herb. Good evening. You have 2 items, so I will give you 4 total minutes.
Madam Chair, before we start, I do want to tell you something, Mr.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with this, it has to do with Fourth of July. Very impressed with the honor guard, present presentation of colors, thank you for that. You did a good job on that, sir.
Thank you, sir.
There's-
It wasn't just done by myself, the VFW.
100%.
I have one of my escorts, the actual man that carried the flag with me right there.
Well, I just want to tell you, for me personally, and I think the board would agree, it was just done really well, and,
Very professional.
thank you for that.
Yes.
Now back to business.
It's my pleasure, sir. As I start this, Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Commissioners, Mr. Buddy, Esquire, citizens all, my name is Harold H. Mason Jr. I live at 100 Pine Forest Drive, Valdosta, Georgia. Even though I do have a Valdosta address, I live in Shady Acres, part of Brooks County. The first thing that I have is something that's happened over the last year to year and a half. We have had a lot of new folks, and I've been to other neighborhoods, but specifically in Shady Acres that have moved in. And there's been no notification to them of anything except maybe if I ride around and tell them, hey, the trash guy comes on Monday. But they don't take the trash cans off the curb. They leave them sitting out on the road. I can take pictures of several of them, but I don't want to. I'm not here to rat anybody out. I'm here to try to get the information to the folks that have moved in so that they know that there is an ordinance that covers getting these trash cans off our road. And that, with that being said, I've actually went over to speak with Ms., I'm not sure how to title, I'm gonna say, our elected person, Ms. Rothrock. And she said, well, Mr. Mason, one of the easiest things to do is there is a welcome pack that we send out to new residents. And she said it would be my pleasure if there was a letter devised by our county to put in that package to send it out to any of the new residents that arrive. I don't want anybody to come around and give somebody a ticket or give somebody, maybe a warning might be in order after this information letter goes out. If you were to come through my neighborhood, there's 6 specific trash cans that are all left out, and they're by new residents within the last year to year and a half. This is something that I feel like could be addressed by not only the council, but overall, the individuals who have, maybe reach out to Ms. Ross, please forgive me.
Miss
Miss
Becky.
Becky, thank you. I didn't know if it would be appropriate to not refer to her. And try to put this package together that would make it at least a notification to begin with. And with that, I would like to discontinue the comments on that issue. Next issue I have is information that I have received about Morven not paying for the fire protection. Now, one of the things I would like to say is, I understood that Morven was going to get a volunteer fire department, which was going to let them eliminate the cost from the city of Morven's residents for fire protection. The only thing I can say to y'all is that I'm very aware of how many responses that we are giving to that area. And I'm not saying that we don't need to. I am a former military security policeman that wants to make sure that everybody is taken care of and protected. But you have to pay your own way. And as Mr. Maxwell pointed out after the last meeting, the SPLOST is gone. So we are now gonna have to move money from here to there, from there to here, to try to make up for this because of different things that have gone on in our county. One of the things that when I spoke with, and Miss Chairman is allowing me to call her Miss Becky, Ms. Rothrock over at there, she says that if a citizen in Morven were to pay the taxes, which I understand they still do, there is a monetary amount that is sent back to the city. Now, my goodness, either they are paying or they're not paying, or if they do pay, we return the money to them, even though our fire department is going there. Because I'm very privy to know about responses because I have different availability. If you go online, you can get stuff to find out what all of the radio frequencies are. And when you find out that, and then you find out where these responses are going, why are we, and I don't want anybody not protected, y'all. You gotta pay for what you get. And if we even send one fire department over there for one call, then they're receiving fire protection. But over the last 6 months, they average 2 calls a month at least. 2 calls a month. And I would ask Mr. Buddy if you want to verify those numbers. I think I'm pretty close. And Miss Myra and Commissioners, thank you so much. I'm sorry that I went over my time.
That's all right.
Thank you, Mr. Hurd.
I'm not responding directly to Mr. Hurd, but I do want to say this about, I know Chief Williams, if I say this wrong, I would like you to correct me, I'm pretty sure I got this right. Now, I do want to say that we do respond, our fire department, no matter what, we respond to all fires within more weather now. In fairness to the comments made here tonight, I do want to have some conversation, I think this time, I do see the mayor in the back, so you and I can have this conversation, one-on-one would be fine. To where we discuss about the requirements of the Morven Fire Department and what they are supposed to do now they're no longer in the coalition and things like that. So I would like to have that conversation with you one-on-one, but not here. It's time for us to, because you have your side and I want to hear that, and then we'll bring it back forward to kind of address Mr. Bird's situation. But I do want to say this to people, no matter what, our fire department responds, because that is what that has to happen. So we've been the same way in some of the other places. So.
That's gonna be next meeting.
Fair enough, sir. All right, thank you. Thank you. I just want to be sure people do that.
Okay, that ends our public comment section, so it brings us down to administrators.
Yeah, I only have one thing, I was gonna talk about something else, I already handled that, but I do think that sometimes you have to, one of the big things like educate. I'm with you on that. I think education's good, and sometimes I'm not sure everybody, I'm confident, most people do not really know the way the chain of command works when it comes to county commissions, administrators, and so forth. So very quickly, I just want to say this so everybody understands how commission, and my job, and the job of the people who work in the administration, how this all works in the chain of command. Your commissioners are elected by their particular districts to represent those districts. Now, a commissioner alone and none of this, I'm not making this up, so you can go look it up on ACCG or anywhere else. This other commissioner alone does not hold or have any legal power or authority. Commissioner must have the approval of the mass of the board, excuse me, the mass majority of the board, meaning three. There has to be three commissioners on the board agree to whatever changes or issues or whatever it is that's being brought up. That has to happen, but three of them have to agree on that. So when you have these massive things that come up, says, well, we want this, or we want that in our district, we want this particular road done, or whatever. Some of that can be simplistic things that, yes, we can, if they can call me, and I can talk to the road department, or if I'm using roads, because that's the majority of our complaints. I can contact the road department, and if it's a minor expense that falls in our budgeted stuff, I can approve that, we move forward. When there is a larger, bigger process where we want a road paved, or we want a road cleaned up, or whatever, we want something big that's gonna cost more money than you know, a few $1,000s, then I have to ask that commissioner to say, we're gonna put this on the agenda, allow the rest of the commissioners to hear it, and then as a whole, they can approve and say, yes, we're willing to spend X number of dollars on this particular project for that particular district. That's where my authority comes from. I am not a manager, even though I'm sometimes referred to as a county manager. I am a county administrator. I am not a manager. I don't hire, nor do I fire directors. This board hires directors. They also are the ones who would terminate directors. They hire me. Now they hire me to oversee the day-to-day business of those directors, and those directors do answer to me on a regular basis. But at the end of the day, they are chosen by this commission as a whole. That is how a commission works. It's not always the same under a manager's different. Managers hire and fire their people. That's how that works. But I'm not a manager. I'm an administrator. I do the job that this board wishes done for their districts, but more importantly for their county. I am also a gatekeeper. That is my biggest job. People are like, what do you mean? There's the commissioners, there's my administration, and there's me right there in the middle. Administration does not go around me to go to the commission. They come to me first, unless it's about me, and then they can go around. But that's a human resource issue. But if it's something that needs to go to this board, they come to me, and I go to the board. Vice versa. Board does not go directly to to the people in the administration. That is inappropriate. And this board knows that. So when you take something to one of them, their job is to bring it to me. I want to say thank you to all the board members for doing exactly that. That makes things work better. So I become the gatekeeper. Whatever comes through that gate, I make sure it goes where it needs to go and it gets transferred out. And then the orders being carried out, yes, that is my responsibility, to carry out the orders. To educate people as much as possible. To ensure that we get open record requests out there. To ensure that transparency is truly done. And make no mistake, that's a big word that gets thrown around a lot. Transparency. Nobody's being transparent. I assure you, make no mistake, we are transparent on every single thing we do. There are things that do not fall under open records because of obvious reasons, health issues, ARPA,
HIPAA.
Thank you, HIPAA, things like that do not fall in it because we don't want people's personal business out there. That's inappropriate. And it's also against the law. So we can't do that. But there is nothing that this commission does, no budgetary decisions we make, nothing we say or do, that you can't come down here and trust and verify. I've said this before. I've been sued before. I was sued in my previous county. And that lady sued me because she didn't like what I had to say. And I stood strong with what I had to say because it is freedom of speech. Freedom of speech goes in two directions. Freedom of speech is certainly allowed, and we certainly will take the freedom of anyone's speech. But there is also freedom of the response to that speech. I am not bound to sit and keep quiet, and I won't. If I see where something is misinformation, I will certainly speak up and clarify that information. And that is what I want everybody to understand here. I work for this commission. They can terminate me tomorrow. If they do, I will shake each one of them's hand and thank them for the time I've been here. But I want to make it very clear. This commission works as a whole, not individually. So holding one responsible because the rest of them don't agree to it, it's not fair to them. that person, every one of these commissioners does their job, they come forth, they fight for their districts, I assure you, they fight for their districts. Because they come to me on a regular basis. We do the best we can with the money we have, and we try to keep it as fair as possible. Thank you for your time, ma'am, I just felt like that's a good educational point, and a lot of people just may not, so thank you.
And
Mr. Buddy, please confirm that none of y'all own part of JWA?
Nobody owns, I have no interest in JWA, period, so I got to try.
Sorry that I interrupted the meeting.
The only thing I own is Exum Farms, with my husband. So,
Great guy,
okay,
Betty.
that brings us down to commissioner comments. Mr. Lee? You don't have anything tonight? Okay, Mr. Folsom?
I don't have any, but I'll take a question from the audience. If anybody had a question, they put me on the spot.
What is your birthday?
One
What-
question, one question.
What year? Happy
I have a
birthday.
hand
How old
up.
are you?
56.
There you go.
I had my hand up. Who maintains the grass that grows into the ditches? You know, we kinda had a drought, you know, and there wasn't that much of it happening, but
I
now
will do
on
my
the
best
dirt
to
roads.
answer that question, and if
Okay.
I get it wrong, Ms. Chair, you.
Okay, I'll play the game, let you.
All right, so there's a lot of misconception, on different roads. So dirt roads and county roads, that's maintained, well, your paved roads or the mowing is our mowing department, which the road department owns. The county owns, I'm sorry. The road department, maintains the dirt roads. Now, sometimes there's grass that grows and there's times where the trees and the debris, and we have sidearms. A lot of people, sometimes during this time going, hey, we need these sidearms, but with the amount of people and what we have and what equipment we have, they mow, they're doing cycles all the time, mowing the county roads, which is 90%, well, all of the paved roads. And then they try to do the side arming the best they can during the fall months because there's more time to do that side arming and try to get the debris back. So that way, if it does grow out during the summertime, it's not longer, it's much shorter, if that makes sense. Now, in some problem areas, I believe when there's emergency issues or the squeaking wheel gets the oil, that's where sometimes the mowing department will pull one or two guys out to do the side arming in some bad areas. State roads, that's maintained by the state, so you know, like Highway 76, 133.
Numbered roads.
That's your state, the state maintains that. So I know, for example, on Moultrie Highway, a few years ago, people were wanting to know why the garbage wasn't getting picked up and the grass was in the median on 133 and why it wasn't being. That was a state issue. That's where you would have to find out through state, Georgia DOT, or further up the ladder than us commissioners. But at one time, the state was only had a contract. It could have been changed, but this was a few years ago where they were only mowing, picking up trash twice a year. And you know that's not. I mean, we're at Mr. Bob's not here, but we're probably at what? 3 or 4 now of mowing cycles, especially with the rain we have. But did that answer your question, or did I leave
No,
it?
I think she wants to know, there is a right of way.
Right, any of the right of ways, and I understand, and I do,
And-
bear with the mowing department, because as you all know, when it starts raining after a drought, man. So they are working, but we do maintain, and I know, you said your road, Margaret?
My question is really directed at the dirt roads, cause I see the
Right.
mowing that happens on the paved roads.
Right.
But on the dirt roads, when we've had this influx of rain and all this overgrowth, does that, and the ditches get clogged, does that fall on
That
the maintenance
can-
contract
Thank
or
you.
or the county?
Okay, so this is one of those answers of it depends. Sometimes it is an issue that the road department will take care of because it may be a ditching problem where we have to actually go in and pull out that stuff where a mower can't, even the sidearms can't get down. If it's something that the mowing group can get to, we generally send them out. Now Kyle, Mr. Christian, and also, Mr. Bob, as you know, is our mowing man. They work together
That's right.
to ensure these things happen. So if Kyle gets on a particular area and says, hey, this area needs to be mowed, then they contact them, they have to come out. Regular maintenance should be happening. I'm gonna tell you, it's July and it's raining, grass grows. And this is everywhere, and it is here. So I get that there are gonna be places where it gets high. I will say this, Mr. Ball works they work every day. So I hope we get to wherever you're talking about.
So that concern would still go through that,
If
the
you would,
website?
Yes.
so Ms. Peggy, if you didn't mind put in a work order request with the road department, either they would handle it or they would reach out to Mr. Bob.
Any request can go through the road department.
Any,
for-
whether it go.
Yes,
Absolutely.
either way,
Okay,
it can go through
okay.
the road department. They'll
Thank
decide
you.
which one, if it's a ditching issue, then we'll do it. So yes, that's a great question. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Folsom? Mr. Cody?
Mr. Dudley summed up everything that need to be here tonight. If there's anything that you need to know, you need to come to this board and we'll give you the correct information. Running the social media is not gonna get it. He said tonight that one commissioner can make a decision. You have to have a majority. I hope everybody understands what it said, because we're doing the best we can with what we have. And all this other stuff is just not going.
Mr. Maxwell?
I'm gonna deviate a little bit, I'm not gonna talk about the road, but, you probably heard, you know, on the news, the young lady, we celebrating our 250th year anniversary.
Amen.
And you probably heard probably saw the young lady on the news, I think it was Fox saying, you know, go home, go back where you came from. This country belongs to us. And I'm still trying to figure out, who in the heck is us?
Amen.
My grandkids, we just had a family reunion, and my grandkids, you know, from the military, Navy, Spain, and they were saying, who is us? Like, go home. This country belongs to us. And I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Mason, who in the heck is us?
We are us.
You understand?
We.
Right. You see that? And I'm trying to figure it out. Now, there's people from all over the world this here. When I was in New York, you understand, I had people from Colombia, you know, Spain, and all of us at the University of New York. And they was here, and you understand, from Israel, and all of them was here. And I'm trying to figure out who is us. And we just went through the 250th year anniversary. My family, that's right, was in Brooks County in 1800. They came from the Carolinas and Virginia. And we've been in Brooks County since the 1800s. So, Mr. Bates, I'm still trying to find out. And my little kid, my grandkid, that granddaddy, who is us?
Mr. Maxwell?
Right, yeah.
My family is the Cherokees that do their family reunion in Berlin. So I don't know how many years they're gonna go back.
Yes.
Amen.
See that? So what happened, so we got to realize that. We got to realize that because all of a sudden we just mixed up. Beautiful, 250 years.
Amen.
Everybody.
Amen.
Right? It does not matter. You see that? America is rainbow.
Amen.
Y'all listen, rainbow. Good God of mercy. If I would bring my family here on both sides, you would have here now. And guess what? Some of them just a lot of them here. They got blue eyes.
It's a good looking joke.
They good looking, that's right. Look at that. They got, some of my family, some of the girls, they got blonde hair. And people, those are my great nieces and nephews.
Are they as pretty as you?
Yeah. So I'm like, what the hell, what in the world is going on? Yes. Some of them look like Miss Myra.
Are they as pretty as you?
Some of them look like the lawyer. Some of them look like me and you. And there's a bunch of them out there.
Amen.
I found 120-some people coming from all over the country. And they, hey, Uncle James, how you doing? And I said, my God, and just a rainbow. But who in the heck is us?
We.
You said, Mr. Week, I'm still trying to find out. Go back. This is our country.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maxwell. Okay, my turn. I've got a few things. First, Mr. Wayne asked me to let him make an announcement in regards to notices.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get on the agenda. I meant to do that, but I forgot. I came to y'all last month about the notices, just so you know that we didn't mail them out. We have mailed them out. I asked y'all then to please send people to us. I've had several people say their pictures told them to call us, so thank you. Just keep it up, send them to us. We're glad to answer any questions that they have. And we are the place to go, not social media, not the commissioners, go to the tax assessor's office to answer questions.
I'll be there.
And
I got a
they
challenge.
can definitely answer the questions down there.
Thank you.
for what you do, Wayne.
Amen.
Thank you. The next thing I have is our 4th of July celebration that we had this past Saturday. It was a wonderful event, and I cannot thank the volunteers that showed up, to help with that. It was very hot, but we got through it. It was a great event. It had very low turnout. I do not know why. I don't know if it was because of because it was on a Saturday, if it was hot, but if you missed it, you missed a great event. So celebrating 250 years, had the dedication of the plaque from the Daughters of the American Revolution. They also read the Declaration of Independence.
Amen.
Our county administrator was our live entertainment. I did not know that he could sing.
Good job,
And, he done
Amen.
a fantastic job. If this don't work out for him, he may head to Nashville, Georgia maybe. The other thing that I have is I received a call the other day, and this is something I wanted to ask the commissioners if they would entertain the idea of me getting some information. Mr. Reggie Lee from the athletic director at the school reached out, and he had an idea. He was riding through some other counties and noticed some signs that showed recognition of their athletic accomplishments and all. You know, say for instance,
State championship.
state championship,
Amen.
1994, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe do some signs on the entrance on our probably state highways, and put those recognitions on those signs there. I think, you know, Squire would have to have permission from GDOT and things like that.
There's a process,
But,
but it can't be done.
right, if we could start that process and maybe bring something to you on the workshop, if y'all like to entertain that idea, I would work with Mr. Reggie Lee in what his, you know, suggestions are, and then bring it, then this commission would be the ones that would have to go through the process and getting that approved. Yes, sir.
I don't know, remember a few years ago where I had mentioned that maybe on the major state highways where welcome to Brooks County, and then you can actually list that, you know, like
Amen.
the school, where they do it in other counties. We've got a new engineer, maybe you could help us with that. If you remember years ago, I tried to get that probably 7 years ago. And
We need it, it really is, it's a simple, I would say a simple / complex process, but it can be done. It starts with you deciding what you want on the signs and where you would like them. If they are state routes, then we would, and I would have to get Jason to kind of help me with that, but we would essentially petition the state to allow us to put up certain signs in certain places, and then once that's done, it goes, I believe it actually goes to a GDOT board somewhere, and they would approve, they approve to do that. They'll send you your notice back and tell you that you can do it. So it is a process, can be done. It starts here with you just telling us what we want to do.
So if the commission is okay, I will get with Mr. Reggie and come up with some ideas to present to the board and what they had in mind. So, and I think.
Chairwoman, I have something to say.
That's everything I have. So we have no executive session tonight. Is that correct, Mr. Camp? No executive, okay. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I have some.
Madam Chairman.
All right, do I have a second?
They don't want to hear what I got to say.
Second, any further discussion?
They don't want to hear what I got to say.
All right, all in favor, stand up.
Y'all saw that?
Thank you.
When he opened it up for questions.
I did. I had my hand up. I raised my hand.
The public isn't allowed.
I see that. Like I literally had my hand up like I want to say something, and that's what just happened. So
You're free to speak to the commission.
they want to talk about social media so much, but they misunderstand what it is. So you know what I'm saying? Everybody saw my hand up, right? Y'all saw my hand up, right? Everybody saw my hand up, okay? So they want to talk about it. Let's go.
What's your question, Ray, if you don't mind me asking?
But one of the questions is more so addressing them about the social media thing as far as what's being put out there. First of all, they misunderstood what was put out there. I never said that was the only bid that's out there. I said possibly could have been. I don't know. He had other papers in front of him. I don't know if the only one or not. All I know is there's only one.
Jump on what you say. And so the whole
Yeah.
thing-
It did. And I said, everything I said got misunderstood. They misunderstood it. Then they got a lot of emotions tonight. And this whole meeting was nothing about emotions. So much about social media and how they're not going to get on it. But we out here. Baby, you ready? Let's go. Let me show you something real quick. I'm gonna check this in real quick. I'm still filming, but I'm not filming what you call it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah. Like I said. But I did have my hand raised, but he had asked about it.
He said one question, so.
No, I thought he was saying about what you call it, huh? Now you watch my stuff on social media. You know what he said about the whole social media thing got misconstrued, basically. But what I said on there was supporting what y'all tax base is. What I said on there was supporting splosh and floss.
I think there's some more miscommunications out there as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we'll talk. I appreciate you opening the floor up. You didn't have a chance to say nothing, but maybe I'm put on the agenda.
We'll be in contact. You got my number, we'll be in contact.
Comment. I gotta go. Ready? I gotta head on the floor. All right.